What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky, and today we're going to be talking about why dealerships love dumb people. Now, this is going to be a funny and controversial episode, so make sure you stay tuned to the end. And if you could do me a huge favor and gently squeeze the like button, I'd truly appreciate it. Also, please subscribe to us because we are almost to 200,000 subs, which is amazing. I truly appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And also, if you want some much more funnier, unfiltered content, follow me on Instagram at Lucky Lopez. And without any more shameless plugging, let's get into the video. So in my last few videos, we talked about how dealerships are overcharging people, how they refuse to lower prices. We talked about how banks are having massive defaults, but they also refuse to lower prices. But we never discussed the X factor. Now, I need you guys to sit down, take a deep breath, because I'm about to blow your mind. I know this answer is going to ruffle a lot of feathers, but sit down, take a breath, and listen. Prices are driven by consumers. Now, I'm going to say this again very slowly again. Prices are driven by consumers. So let me explain. If 5 people walk into a dealership and 4 of them say, hey, I want to buy this car at MSRP or I want to buy it at this specific price, the dealership is probably going to say no, and the customers are just going to give up and walk away. But then that last person, that dum-dum, is going to come in and dealership's going to say, I want $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 over MSRP. And that consumer is going to be like, yes, I'll take it. And just like that, cycle starts over again. What I mean by cycle? The sales cycle. Every time one of these dealers sells an overpriced unit, you're giving them this much more belief that they're not going to have to lower their prices anytime soon because there's a sucker born every single day. There's this terminology saying there's an ass for every seat, and there's also the other one that plays the greater fool theory. There's always a greater fool than I. And that's what they're banking on. There's always some dum-dum that's going to show up and pay retail and over retail for a vehicle. This is the X factor of why vehicle pricing is not going down as fast as what it should. Now, if everybody stopped buying and everybody realized that, oh my God, the prices are not good, let's wait, let's not give in to this FOMO, they would actually rapidly decline a lot faster. But dealerships rely on dumb people to show up and just basically bend over and take the deal. Now, another reason why dealerships love dumb people is finance. Now, I don't care how smart and how crafty you are, the dealership is going to try to stick its whole hand up your ass. Now, no matter how much you duck and dodge and try to clever out and unsell things, they're still going to get a finger or two in there. And what I mean by this is when I see people bragging on social media, especially nowadays, saying that they got a really low interest rate, that they beat everybody, that they're bragging they got a low interest rate. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you got a low interest rate on an automotive loan in the last few months, you are getting screwed. The reason why is most traditional banks will not finance more than what the vehicle is worth. The only banks that will do this are captive lenders like Toyota Financial, Ford Motor Credit, GM Financial, things like this that behoove the dealer to sell more cars. So they'll push out a higher amount of amount financed at a lower amount financed rate. Now, if you were truly getting a good deal, more than likely you would have gotten a higher interest rate and they would have sent the deal out, or you would have came with your own financing. So just the fact that you're bragging on social media that you got a great deal and you got a low interest rate, guarantee you're getting screwed. These are some of the tricks that dealerships play to screw dumb people. Now, at the end of the day, even if you were to say, well, the interest rate's going to be more longer term, so I'll just take the lower one. In the next year or so, interest rates are going to change. You're going to have to pay maybe $200, $300 in interest. You can refinance in 2024. So dealerships know this, and this is why they literally thrive on dumb consumers. But first, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Scentbird. Now, the only thing that stinks more than some of the dealership sales prices are you guys. And that's why I'm so happy to tell you guys about Scentbird. Scentbird is a fragrance subscription service that allows you to express yourself through scent. And the cool thing is they have all kinds of colognes and perfumes from major brands such as Prada, Gucci, Versace. They also have indie brands such as Skylar and Confessions of a Rebel. Each fragrance comes with a 30-day supply, so this way you can try it out and test it before committing to an expensive purchase. Remember, some of these colognes can be anywhere from $150 all the way up to $500. So that's why Scentbird is such a great option. Now, my personal opinion is I never think you should wear the same cologne every single day. So the reason I have 3 here is because I have one for my home, one for my office, and one for my car. So the first scent that I chose was Clinique by Happy. It's a very soft, subtle scent. something good for just hanging around the house. My next one, I have Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue, which is more of a going out kind of nightlife type of scent. And then my last one, which is my favorite, which I keep in the car, is Mercedes Blue. But I actually prefer to keep them in these containers. Now, these actually things are pretty durable. They're hard plastic, but the best thing is they have a locking mechanism on the head. So this one bounces around in my car. So if you press the top, it doesn't do anything. You actually have to turn and then squeeze, and then you can actually get the cologne out of it. Once you're done, go ahead and lock it back up, throw it back in your car. It's very durable. You don't have to worry about putting it back in the case. And this is one of the things that I really enjoy about Scentbird. So make sure you click the link below and use my promo code and get 55% off. Your first 30 days will only be a little over $7. I'd like to thank Scentbird so much for sponsoring this video, and let's get back into it. Another reason why dealerships love dumb people is the fact that they can take advantage of them when they have a trade-in. Now, most consumers are either dumb, ignorant, or just flat out lazy, and they don't want to market their own car or have to worry about selling it. So the dealership knows that they can come to you with an extremely low ball offer, and you're going to take it more than likely. Also, it gives them enough fluctuation power to skew the numbers back and forth. What I mean by this is every time you go to a dealership, don't tell them about your trade till you actually get to the desk and you start working the numbers, because what's going to happen is if you tell me as a person that you have a trade-in, I'm automatically going to bump whatever vehicle price up to maybe $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 more to compensate for your trade. And then also on top of that, most people don't even know how to use Kelley Blue Book. So they'll Google their car and say, oh, okay, well, my vehicle value is between this and this. And they either overpriced it, but some people actually underprice their vehicles. We see it a lot. Certain options make your vehicle a lot more valuable. I've seen Tahoes where they'll give you base book value or black book wholesale, like just ripped value, for very, very cheap, where if we were to add 4x4, Z71 package, leather seats, you're talking additional $5,000, $6,000 of vehicle value that they'll take away from you. So it's very important that you take the time to learn about your trade, what it's worth. And I tell most people, do not take it to the dealership. Just sell it on Craigslist, Facebook, because whatever they're offering you, more than likely you're going to get $2,000 to $3,000. And even worse, if you owe money on your trade-in, they're going to try to take whatever little equity or whatever negative equity and bury your ass in it even deeper. So please don't play that game. Do the research, figure out what your trade's worth, and if you're buried in that damn thing, do not buy a car. Don't be a dummy. Walk away. Now, another reason why dealerships love dumb people is to take advantage of them. What I mean by this is if you do any type of business transaction with a dealership, you need to put everything in writing. So if they owe you floor mats, put it in writing. They're going to fix a scratch on the bumper, put it in writing. If they guarantee you that they're going to refinance at a lower rate down the road, put it in writing. As soon as you drive off the lot with that vehicle, they want to have nothing to do with you. Their whole job is to kick that can down the road, and they're never going to mess with you again. The good old days of dealerships trying to cater to you and build a really good customer base, those days are gone. All they're talking about now is just gross and ripping people's heads off, and they don't care about the consumer at all whatsoever. So don't be a dummy. If you do any type of business transaction, or if they owe you anything or they promised anything, you put it, it's called the WIO. Make sure it's in writing and you have all those copies. Don't let them have the one copy. You get a copy for yourself. So another reason why dealerships love dumb people is they're either too dumb or too lazy to negotiate. Some people do not take the time to go to multiple dealerships to send offers. Just do it like you're buying a house. If there's 50 cars in your area, let's say you want a Chevy Tahoe, you make offers on every freaking Chevy Tahoe. Eventually you're gonna get a good deal and you'll get comparables. People have this bad problem of walking into a dealership. Well, I saw this one online, I want it cheaper, and they'll probably give you a cheaper one, but they're probably gonna give you one that's a stripped down model that doesn't have all the features that the one that you want, or they're just gonna screw you all completely. Don't be afraid to negotiate with dealers, and if it takes you a week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks, that's okay, that's part of negotiations. I've had customers literally drag me through the mud for a month to make sure they got the best deal possible. We went back and forth, I called them, they called me, and eventually arrived at a certain dollar amount. Do I like to do that? No. I usually told the customer, like I told them back then, this is the price, you got to pay for it. But most dealerships will not do that. They will drag you around, tell you that they're not going to do this. They want $50,000. A week later, they're going to call you, okay, we'll do 48, 45. Okay, we'll do 42.50. Take your time. Don't be in a rush. I'm telling you, the longer you wait, the better the deals are. Don't be afraid to negotiate. Don't be afraid to haggle with these people. It's your money. You earned it. do some negotiating, save it. The dealerships, they don't care. Their job, they get paid to sit there and argue with you. Just figure it that way. It's like having an ex-wife on payroll. So just go ahead, do the research, argue with them a little bit, get the best deal you possibly can, and don't be a dum-dum. And the very last one, the reason why dealerships love dumb people is they're so convincing when it comes to the FOMO, the fear of missing out. Do not believe the hype. I promise you, even though there's a lot of new cars that are sold out and they're saying that all the allocations are gone, just like my current car, I ordered a Lamborghini Technica. I'm like maybe 70th on the list. I jumped to, I think, 20th on the list with just a few months because people are pulling out of the allocations just like they're pulling out of this. If you guys have seen the Ford Lightning and what's happening with it, people are dumping them at a record pace because so many people bought them just to flip them. So a lot of those people that have allocations for different cars, different makes, different models are going to be walked away. So do not believe the hype. Do not believe the dealerships and say that it's a limited amount. You got to get them in. You got to pay over this. You got to do this. Don't believe it. You are going to get a good deal. Things are changing. The market is completely different. There are so many opportunities to be had. So with this in mind, like I said, just keep negotiating. Take your time. Don't believe in it. I guarantee you by the second quarter of 2023, all these dealers are going to be lining up to kiss your ass because they have to get rid of this overpriced inventory and they have nowhere to dump it. So they're going to be begging you to come back in and give them a deal on it. But anyways, I would love to hear your comments and concerns. Do you guys know any crazy stuff that dealerships do? Or if you have any opinions, if you're a dealer, on why dumb people do certain things they do, leave it in the comment section. And even if your opinion is different from mine, that's okay. We could still be friends, but I'd love to hear about it. So also, once again, follow us on Instagram at Lucky Lopez. And if you guys can definitely subscribe, like I said, we're about 2,500 people away from 200,000 subscribers. I truly appreciate it. Once we hit that, we're going to do a fun giveaway. And without any more further saying, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.